The galaxy knew humanity as an industrious, adaptable species, but not one to wage war. For centuries, Earth had been the diplomatic linchpin of the Interstellar Concord, a coalition of hundreds of species dedicated to peace and mutual prosperity. Humans were the mediators, the builders, the species that could thrive in conditions others deemed inhospitable. Their resilience was legendary, their compassion unrivaled, but their wrath, that remained a mystery. On the outer edges of the Concord, a vast trading station, a shimmering nexus of cultures, floated in the void. Known as Solace Station, it housed millions from dozens of species. The air buzzed with the hum of alien dialects, the soft thrum of hovercrafts and the occasional clang of cargo containers. Yet beneath the vibrant exchange of ideas and goods, whispers grew. The Drexar Dominion, a militaristic empire of bioengineered conquerors, had begun encroaching on Concord space. One fateful day, the Drexar attacked Solace Station. Their vessels, sleek and spined like predatory sea creatures, tore through the station's defenses. The assault was ruthless. Entire wings of the station were destroyed in moments, scattering debris and bodies into the void. Among the casualties were thousands of humans. This was no ordinary raid. It was a message. The Drexar had grown tired of conquered diplomacy and saw humanity as the weak link. But they underestimated humanity's capacity for grief and for fury. On Mano, Earth, the news of Solace Station's fall spread like wildfire. Broadcasts displayed haunting images of the destroyed station, shattered habitats, drifting corpses, and desperate survivors. World leaders convened in emergency sessions, their faces grim. In the streets, the reaction was visceral. Humanity's history, a tapestry woven with wars, revolutions, and struggles, had conditioned them for survival. For centuries they'd chosen peace, but now an old instinct stirred. It wasn't just anger. It was a collective shift, a primal determination. Aboard the United Nations flagship Erebus Taos, Captain Eleanor Karras addressed her crew. Her voice, steady but laced with steel, carried through the corridors. We were diplomats, builders, explorers. They mistook our kindness for weakness. They think we will fold, but they will learn. We do not break. We bend, we adapt, and when we've had enough, we rise. Across human colonies, a call to arms echoed. Factories retooled overnight, producing weapons and ships, scientists, engineers, and soldiers. Each contributed in ways both conventional and ingenious. Hidden technologies long considered too dangerous for use were brought out of shadowed labs. And as humanity prepared, the Concord watched in stunned silence. On the industrial world of Hestia, vast manufactories churned out warships that gleamed with deadly precision. These weren't ordinary vessels. They bore sleek designs, cloaking, technology, and weapons that defied conventional physics. Humanity had spent centuries studying the Concord's collective knowledge, and now that knowledge was weaponized. In secret facilities, the Sentinels were born. These biomechanical constructs, a fusion of human ingenuity and alien biology, were unlike anything the galaxy had seen. Each stood 3 meters tall, their exoskeletons made of living metal that pulsed with an inner glow. Their voices, a harmonic blend of tones, carried an almost reverent quality. Commander Dax, leader of the Sentinels, addressed a gathering of soldiers on Hestia. The Drexar believe their bioengineering makes them superior. Let's show them what true innovation looks like. Let's show them what happens when humanity's back is against the wall. The crowd erupted in a roar, their fists raised. Above them, holographic banners displayed the phrase, "Never again." The Drexar, emboldened by their initial success, launched another incursion, this time targeting the colony of Meridian Prime. What they encountered was not the scattered defense they had expected. Instead, they found Vanguard fleet, waiting. Human ships emerged from cloaked positions, their hulls shimmering like liquid metal. The Drexar flagship, Voralax, barely had time to react before a barrage of kinetic rounds pierced its shields. Explosions rippled along its spine as Drexar commanders barked orders in their guttural tongue. On the bridge of the Erebus, Captain Karras watched the battle unfold. Her eyes burned with intensity. Focus fire on their carriers, disable their jump drives. Her commands were calm, almost cold. There was no room for hesitation. The Drexar fought viciously, deploying swarms of biodrones. But the Sentinels, deployed in boarding pods, were unstoppable. Their movements were a deadly ballet, their living metal bodies absorbing blows that would fell any other soldier. When the dust settled, Meridian Prime remained untouched. The Drexar fleet, however, was in shambles. Survivors of the Drexar fleet were allowed to return to their empire. Each carried the same message. Humanity was no longer a passive member of the Concord. Those who underestimated them would pay dearly. On Drexar Prime, Supreme Overseer Zorthal listened as his commanders recounted the disaster. His scaled brow furrowed, his bioengineered claws twitching in frustration. "They are but primitives," he growled, though doubt laced his voice. Humanity's warning was not just verbal. Alongside the surviving Drexar ships, a beacon was sent, a sphere of obsidian-like material that radiated an ominous energy. It bore a simple inscription in every known language. "We remember." Humanity's transformation sent shockwaves through the Concord. Many species, inspired by humanity's resolve, pledged their support. The feline-like Tizar offered their stealth technology, while the crystalline Vorsai provided devastating energy weapons. Not all reactions were positive. The Zorthax Collective, fearful of humanity's newfound aggression, withdrew from the Concord. Diplomats scrambled to prevent further fragmentation, but the damage was done. Ambassador Laura Enthal, a veteran Concord envoy, visited Earth to meet with its leaders. "Your actions inspire both awe and fear," she said, her luminescent eyes reflecting the firelight of the council chamber. "But remember, a fire that burns too brightly can consume itself." President Alan Hayes met her gaze evenly. "We understand the cost of war, Ambassador, but we also understand the cost of doing nothing." The Drexar, unwilling to concede, launched their largest offensive yet against Erythra, a key human colony. The battle lasted weeks, with both sides suffering heavy losses. Drexar's bioengineered monstrosities, towering beasts bristling with organic weaponry, clashed against human mechanized infantry. In the final hours, Captain Karras led a daring counter-offensive. Using experimental warp jump technology, human forces bypassed the Drexar's main fleet and struck directly at their command ship. The resulting explosion lit up the night sky of Erythra, a blazing symbol of defiance. After the battle, survivors recounted tales of human ingenuity and bravery. Many spoke of the Sentinels' valor, their glowing forms emerging victorious despite overwhelming odds. For the people of Erythra, the day became a legend, a reminder of humanity's unyielding spirit. In the depths of a hidden research station, humanity unveiled its ultimate weapon, the Leviathan. A ship unlike any other, it was a colossal fusion of technology and biology. Its hull pulsed like a living heart, and its weapons harnessed the power of miniature stars. When the Leviathan emerged during the final battle at Concord Prime, it was a sight to behold. Entire fleets parted before its might. The Drexar's vaunted flagship, Oblivion's Maw, was reduced to atoms in a single volley. Engineers who worked on the Leviathan described it as a living entity, responsive to its crew in ways that bordered on telepathic. Its debut marked a turning point in the war, demonstrating that humanity's innovation had transcended even their own expectations. With the destruction of their flagship, the Drexar began to falter. Concord forces, emboldened by humanity's leadership, pushed deep into Drexar space. Planets once thought impregnable fell within days, yet even as victory seemed near, humanity faced hard choices. On Drexar Prime, Supreme Overseer Zorthal activated a doomsday device, threatening to annihilate his own people rather than surrender. Humanity's response was swift. Using experimental teleportation, a team of Sentinels infiltrated the planet and neutralized the device. Zorthal was captured, his reign brought to an end. In the aftermath, humanity offered the Drexar survivors a chance to rebuild. Human engineers and medics worked alongside Concord allies to stabilize planets ravaged by war. The gesture surprised many, reinforcing that humanity sought not domination, but justice and peace. The war's end marked a turning point for the galaxy. The Drexer Dominion was dismantled, its people given a chance to rebuild under Concord guidance. Humanity, once seen as the peacemakers, was now a symbol of resilience and determination. In the aftermath, Captain Karras stood aboard the Erebus, looking out at the stars. "We've shown the galaxy who we are," she said softly, "but now it's time to show them who we can be." And so humanity began a new chapter, not as victims or conquerors, but as leaders who would ensure that no species would ever forget the day humans finally snapped.